I just can't cover up for you anymore. I'm in this thing way too deep already.
Oh, not as deep as I am. Oh, honey, please. My bookie's getting anxious. He wants his money.
Oh, tell him you haven't got it. What can he do?
What can he do? He'd cut up his own mother when it comes to money. Look, Jimmy, you've got to go along with me or I'm in serious trouble.
I'm sorry you are.
Well, all I need is a couple of more days. I'm bound to have a winner.
All right, I'm sorry. This is it. The end of the line.
All right. I'll think of something. I've got to.
Look, Ora, you know I want to help, but with the auditors coming, I've got to balance the books. Good afternoon. Can I help you?
I'd like to cash this, please.
A payroll check?
Yes, I'm with the Martin Foundry Works.
Well, since this is your first time here, could I see some identification, please?
Oh, sure. That enough?
Driver's license? Employee's card? This will do fine. Come and see us any time, Mr. Halper.
All right.
Ora!
Detective Lieutenant, M Squad, a special detail of the Chicago Police. There'd been a recent wave of holdups of neighborhood check cashing offices. I'd been assigned to the investigation. I was across town when I heard the report on the double shooting. It took me 20 minutes to get there. My boss was already on the scene.
It's an attempted holdup, Frank. Cashier's the only witness. According to her, one of them shot the teller. She grabbed a gun and shot the holdup man.
Can I talk to her?
Sure. This is Ora Kane, Frank.
Wallace Kane.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Frank Ballinger. I understand that you've had a pretty rough time here.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
You feel up to answering some questions?
I'll try.
But where were you when all this happened?
Right here at my desk, working.
When's the first that you noticed that something was wrong?
Well, when I first heard the shot, and as I turned toward him, the man fired again, and Jim fell.
He's the teller, Frank.
Jim Landry. He's such a wonderful guy that when I stop and think that he's dead,
What did you do then?
Well, the man turned toward me. I was so sure he was going to kill me that I reached into the drawer where we keep the gun, and I shot at him.
Well, what about the other man?
He ran out the back door into the alley.
Could you possibly describe him for us?
Yeah, he was about 25, 150 pounds, 5'10", and he wore dirty gray pants and a black leather windbreaker.
Well, that's a very good description. Miss Kane, you're a very brave girl and level-headed.
Well, don't let appearances fool you. In just about 2 minutes, I'm going to start screaming.
We'll have to have a statement from you downtown, Miss Kane. But that can wait. I'll have someone drive you home.
Thank you.
See you later, Frank.
Ora Kane would make a good witness if we ever caught the other bandit. She had a lot of self-confidence. After taking her home, I drove back to M Squad to see what homicide and the lab boys had turned up. This is just routine.
Well, ballistics checks out the girl's story. Teller was killed by slugs from a .32 caliber belly gun that was found alongside the dead holdup man. Now, he, in turn, was killed by slugs from a .38 that Ora says she fired.
Sure.
What's on your mind, Frank?
Well, just a change in the pattern. Only one man was involved in the first 5 stick-ups, and now suddenly there's 2 men involved. Oh, and the primary ID report on the dead man. Here, read that.
Ralph Halper, age 36, white male American, married, 1 child. Sheet metal worker, good income, good reputation, no prior arrests or convictions.
So why does a man like that get himself tied up with some stick-up artist? And why does a punk with 5 successful solo attempts suddenly take on a partner?
I don't know, those are good questions, Frank.
Maybe we better find the answers, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
A criminal investigation seldom follows a straightforward, clear-cut course. This one was obviously no exception. I drove out to talk with Ralph Halper's widow.
Please go away. You can't do anything for me. Please go away.
I hate to bother you at a time like this, Miss Halper. I certainly understand how you feel.
Do you? Do you know what it means to be married to a wonderful man for 14 years?
Did he owe money? Dr. Bill's gambling debts, anything like that?
There's only one possible answer. Ralph didn't do it. And we're not in debt.
We have a witness, Mrs. Halper. An eyewitness.
I don't care what you have. I know Ralph. He didn't do this thing.
The law needs a better answer than that.
I need an answer, too. Our little girl, Lieutenant. What do I tell her?
I'm sorry. Somehow I believe Mrs. Halper. She was an honest person, and if anybody knew her husband, she knew him best. What she had told me about him checked out with everything I'd heard from his friends. He was an honest guy. Everybody liked him. I met my boss for dinner, and later we took a walk, still talking about the case. What do you tell a little girl? That her father was a criminal?
I don't know, Frank. Just do what you have to.
Yeah, but you don't have to like it. No further progress was made in the next 16 hours. The following morning, I reported back to M Squad. About 10 o'clock, Ora dictated a formal statement and signed it. Thank you, Miss Kane.
Anything else I can do to help?
Well, not now, Miss Kane. You've been very cooperative. You've become quite famous since yesterday.
Yeah. And I wish I wasn't so famous. I'm afraid it's a little frightening.
Why is that?
Well, ever since those pictures appeared in the paper, I've been getting a lot of phone calls from complete strangers. And last night, I think one of the calls was from the man that got away.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh, I don't know. Something like, don't try to identify me or you'll get what Ralph Halper and that teller got.
Well, why didn't you mention this when you first came in?
I guess I'm just not thinking too straight yet.
Get me Lieutenant Warshak, Women's Division, please. Did you recognize the voice? I said, did you recognize the voice?
Oh, no, it was muffled. Just something about the way he said it made me think that...
Hi, fellas. We got Frank Ballinger. Look, can I borrow one of your girls for a while? Yeah. Well, you know, make her sort of young, pretty, office secretary type. No, this is not social. We have an eyewitness, and I want to give her around-the-clock protection. Okay, thanks, fellas. All right. Well, you're going to get yourself a roommate.
Thanks, Lieutenant. You know, frankly, this keeping up a brave front sure gets tough on a gal.
Look, you've been doing fine. Why don't you go downstairs and wait, and the policeman will pick you up.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Miss Kane seems to be quite a gal.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell us why Ralph Halper got mixed up in this and why a solo flying bandit suddenly wants to take on a partner.
Yeah. Gray speaking. Oh, yes, Mr. Radford. Are you sure? I see. Well, how much was the amount? Yes, sure. I'll check it out right away, and thanks. Well, there's one from left field. From left field.
What?
Well, the auditors at the check cashing outfit went over Jim Landry's books. Found a shortage. $1,500 worth.
Jim Landry's embezzlement had started about 2 months prior. Small amounts at first, $40, $50, $60. Then they got larger. The last for $500 had occurred just 2 days prior to the shooting. I spent the rest of the day checking on Jim Landry's friends, neighbors, acquaintances, relatives. Everywhere the story was the same. Hard-working, industrious, ambitious homeboy. Honest as the day is long. They were outraged at the idea that he might be a thief. At 5:35, I checked back at M Squad.
Well, it's about time you got here. Reports on our APB, negative. Reports on the belly gun, negative. R&I rundown on Landry, negative.
Well, if he was crooked, he had a lot of people fooling him.
Yeah. Policewoman's report on any unusual activities at Ora Kane's apartment, negative. And the final autopsy report on Landry and Halper.
Well, at least this can't be negative.
No, but take a second look at that section on bullet penetrations. Well?
According to this, the bullet canals in both the dead bodies took an upward course.
But the men were standing face to face and only a few feet apart.
Yeah. Give me Bill Kennedy at Homicide. Tell him that I want to meet him and his partner over at the Radford check cashing service right away, huh?
You got an idea, Frank?
Let me try to prove it first, huh? Kennedy, move in a little closer. Yeah, right about there. All right. Now, these are the approximate positions of the two men when the shots were fired. Now, Davis, you're going to be the teller, and Kennedy, your helper.
Now, this tape indicates the path of the bullet.
Now, according to the coroner's report, he was struck about in the center of the chest here. Now, when I pull this up, what do we have? A horizontal line of fire, huh? But according to the coroner's report, that's not how the bullet entered the body. All right, now, Davis, will you hold this tape right where I had it before? And Kennedy, you hold that tape right where Halper caught the slugs. Just feed them out to me now. Now, what I'm saying is that both the murder weapons were held low and fired from approximately here. Because the bullet canals in both the bodies have an upward slope to them. But if Halper had shot the teller, the course of the bullet would have been horizontal in the body. And it's not that way. As you can see, these run uphill. So 5 will get you 10 that Orr is lying about the shooting. Yellow. So yeah, boss. Al? Well, it looks like Ora Kane's in this mess right up to her lovely little neck.
Well, don't take any bets on it, Frank. Squad 83 just picked up a suspect who's confessed every robbery in Chicago, including the one you're on.
What?
And according to him, Ora Kane's story checks out 100%.
Thanks.
It looked like my half-formed theory concerning Ora Kane struck out before it even got to the plate. I drove back to M Squad to check it out.
This is a list of 26 robberies. You claim that you did every one of them, including the 6 check cashing outfits?
Including everything, man. When it comes to scoring, I'm the original kid from Schoonersville.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. Why did you ring Halper in?
Who?
Ralph Halper, or don't you know him?
Oh, the square that got himself blasted at the check cashing joint. I'm a wheel, man. When I dig a score, I like to spread it around.
Like Halper.
Yeah. He was in a bar moaning. Said he was flat broke, so I give him a chance to fly high. He just wasn't cool.
But you are.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little chair down in Statesville that'll warm you up plenty.
What?
Eddie, will you come in here and get him out of here?
No, wait a minute, man. I didn't bump that joker.
An accessory is just as guilty as a man who commits a felony.
Book him, Eddie. Accessory first-degree murder.
Hey, now look, I was gassed.
Come on, get him out of here.
Festus, Halper. I got an alibi for that Radford job. You hear? An alibi.
A confessing Sam.
Yeah.
Well, let him make a statement if he wants to, but book him as charged.
Well, what do we do now?
Look, why don't we get Ora Kane down here and see if she can identify him?
Right. And to be safe, I'll check out Willie's alibi.
how does this identification take place? Am I in a room with a two-way mirror or something?
Well, we could use that method, but there's not much point to it. Don't forget our man already knows who you are, so he may try to cover up. That's what we're looking for.
I won't forget. Thanks again, Miss Morrison. It sure is nice having you here.
Oh, no thanks necessary. I only wish all my assignments were this easy.
Okay, I'm ready.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Oh, by the way, Sergeant, today's payday. I thought you might like to have your check.
What is this?
See you later.
Where's Ora Kane?
She's waiting outside. What'd you find out about Willie's alibi?
Well, we checked it out. The Oak Park police picked Willie up at noon on the 21st on a vagrancy. Well, the shooting at Halpers took place at approximately 3:55 that same afternoon. Willie wasn't released till 8 o'clock that night, so he wasn't there.
But Ora Kane was.
Slow down, Frank. Little matter of motive and proof.
Would you send in Miss Kane, please, and hold Willie till we call for him? Let's see what she has to say about Willie, huh?
Sure, baby. Sorry to drag you down here so late, Miss Kane.
Oh, I don't mind, Captain, so long as it'll help.
I'm sure it will.
Would you mind sitting down over here, please? Look, we're going to bring Willie in just long enough to sign a paper, then I'll give you a chance to have a good look at him, all right?
All right.
Send Willie in. You, take a look at that, Willie. That about the way you said it was?
Not a ripple in the pond, man.
Okay, sign it.
Anything you say, but let's get this cleared up.
All right, Eddie. Well, what do you think, Miss Kane?
He's the one, Captain.
No doubt about it.
No, not a bit. He was the second man. Andy sounds like the man that phoned me last night.
Well, I guess it about wraps it up. Your positive identification was all we needed.
I feel sorry for him, but I guess I had to say so.
Of course. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain.
Now that we have Willie in custody, you have a celebration coming. Supposing I call off the watchdog and meet you in about half an hour. We can have a little dinner.
Fine, I'd like that very much. Oh, goodbye, Captain.
Goodbye, Miss Kane.
See you then.
I'll be looking forward to it.
What was the whispering all about?
Operation Morale. Well, Sergeant Morrison, Frank Ballinger. Say, how did you make out with your paycheck?
I found what you wanted. Yes. I've taken care of everything.
Well, good. You're officially relieved as of right now, and thank you so much.
Ora gives quite a performance.
Yeah?
Outside of the fact we know she lied about Willie, there's still no proof and no motive.
Well, dipping into the till for $1,500 is pretty good motive.
Well, it could have been the teller, but there's no evidence she took the money.
Well, that's fine, son.
How?
I have a date with her.
One thing, Frank. Be careful. If you're right, she's already killed 2 men.
You know, Frank, you're 2 different people. A lot more fun when you're not a cop.
What's the matter? You still afraid I'm playing cop?
Oh, no.
But you know, it is a funny thing. I still can't get Willie off my mind.
Oh? Why?
Well, you identified him as the second man in the holdup, but at the time of the shooting, he was still in jail.
Well, now, just what deduction do you draw from that?
Why don't we sit down and I'll tell you about it. You know, I don't think Jim Landry took that money.
Frank, I don't understand. The shortage was in Jim's books.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you took the money, and Jim was covering for you.
Oh, no, Frank. No, that isn't true.
Well, it was just a matter of time, you knew that, until the shortage was discovered. So you staged a fake holdup and shooting.
Well, you can't be accusing me.
I'm accusing you of deliberately waiting for a stranger to come in the office and then shooting him with the office gun.
No,
and then you
Frank,
shot
no.
Jim with a gun that you bought someplace else and put it beside the stranger's body. And you figure you committed the perfect crime.
No, you must be joking.
I'm not joking. When I find the man who sold the gun to you, and I will find him, his identification of you is all I need.
Frank, I can't believe it's you talking. I just can't.
Come on now, Ora. You're not going to wipe away those tears with a handkerchief, are you? Why don't you tell me the real story? Now, Ora, you're going to put that gun down.
You're wrong, Lieutenant. And you're wrong about one other important fact. I didn't buy one gun. I hadn't made that one mistake. If I hadn't identified the wrong man, Frank might still be alive.
And the man in the park who killed Frank Ballinger was the real bandit. Wasn't Willie at all.
No, I realized my mistake the minute he came up to us. But it was too late. I didn't even have a chance to start screaming before he started shooting. Frank died trying to protect me. That man was trying to kill me, and Frank died trying to protect me.
Miss Kane's given us the story. Quite an interesting story, Frank. It seems you died a hero's death protecting her from the hold-up man's bullets.
Too bad I don't get a posthumous medal. I thought you were supposed to be a smart girl, Ora. You ought to know about blanks.
Blanks?
Yeah, that paycheck I gave to your roommate, Sergeant Morrison, was really a note asking her to look around the apartment for another gun. And once having found it, to go out and get some blanks of the right caliber and substitute them for the real thing. And then return the gun to the original hiding place.
No.
It looks like you were the one that was wrong, Ora. Wrong all the way. All right, Sergeant. Ora Kane had killed two men to hide a $1,500 theft. To hide murder, she had tried to kill me. And for all her efforts, she ended up in the death house at Stateville Prison. But at least I'd cleared the names of two dead men. And Ralph Halper's little girl would grow up in my town knowing that her father had always been a good man.